All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to April's activation launch party. We are here to share some exciting things with you, things that everyone deserves to know, because as we go through life, the years add up and aging is inevitable, but how we age is not. And we are not, you know, slaves to our genes. Our genes are not our fate, they are actually our toolkit. And so when April invited you to this call, I just wanted to, you can just answer to yourself as you're thinking about this before you watch this replay. What prompted you to attend? What was it that piqued your interest to say, "Hey, I want to check this out. What's going on? What are they sharing?" Because those things that come to mind are what you need to look out for. Maybe it's, you thought, oh, there's a better way to age. My body has capabilities I didn't know about. What's this all about? There's a lot of talk about genes, DNA, and, you know, chronic hereditary type of diseases. But more and more, it's becoming known that we can influence the way our genes express. And that's part of what we're here to share with you, that you have some powerful built-in capabilities that can influence the way that you age and how well you age. And another question I always ask everybody is, when it comes to your health and wellness, are you confident that your tools are helping you live and age well? And that's the question, two questions to think about as we get started. So, when it comes to that second question, I want to share a little bit about the status of the United States, what situation we find ourselves in. Don't know if you've heard this yet, but we spend in the United States twice as much on healthcare as other developed nations, yet we rank last in life expectancy of those nations. We have the highest rate of multiple chronic illnesses among developed countries. And I don't have to tell you, we face an unprecedented number of toxins from our air, our water, our processed food, our devices that are constantly bombarding us with radiation and EMFs, and all the toxins that are in our products. It really can be overwhelming, but we are not here to spread doom and gloom. We are here to spread alternative solutions. What we are going to definitely, oops, let me center this a little bit. We are definitely going to step outside of the box today when it comes to wellness and how we approach our wellness. And with that stat, I think that's a good idea. Sometimes you just have to take matters into your own hands. And so I just wanted to, with that being said, in that small introduction, I wanted to I'll introduce myself, and then Amanda and April will introduce themselves so that you get to know all of us. We are your wellness advocates. I didn't put any credentials up here because honestly, credentials and posturing like that, it just influences us to outsource our decision making. And that is something that I know every one of us here presenting or sharing today is really about taking back our own power, listening to our intuition, and developing our lives in a way that support our wellness. So at some point today, I want you to look in the mirror and know that you are your biggest wellness advocate. So put yourself on this slide, visualize yourself on this slide, because we outsource to doctors, we outsource to drug companies, we outsource to commercials on TV. But the biggest wellness advocate you have for you is you. So, that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Amanda and have her um, introduce herself briefly, and then April will share why she's here and why she's doing this.
Thank you so much, Mary. Thank you for presenting for us today. I'm so excited to coordinate this call, and I'm really thrilled for all the folks who are going to watch the recording of this. And so I was introduced to this opportunity many years ago, and my story is kind of a big story. It did have a tremendously profound effect on our family and really changed our entire family's life from the get-go in the very beginning. What are we looking at? 13 years ago. And for anyone who's not familiar with my story, you can grab my campsite.bio/arch link out of the name on my screen here. So again, that's campsite, like a campsite.bio/arch, ARCH. That's my link landing page where you can find my story. It's a recorded call titled How Cellular Activation Changed My Family's Life. And I encourage you to go listen to it, watch that there, and reach out to me if you have questions specifically for me in any way that I might help, because we are all here together to help each other share this information with people, to help people discover their full capabilities already within their intelligent design that are more than likely just dormant or overacting. And we're just going to help fine tune you. And this is really your own body's miracle. It's not a thing we're adding in, it's something we're actually activating within us. And so my story's big, and it does have to do with our son when he was an infant and how incredibly profound the effect of this was for him. And he had a pretty intense start. So I encourage you to go and listen. Hudson wants to be a part of this too. But without further ado, I want to introduce April. April's my neighbor. We met on her front lawn in September last fall. I believe it was like September or something that we met on her front lawn. And we had known of each other for a couple of years. One of our other neighbors kept saying, you guys have to meet. You just have to meet. You have so much in common, same interests, la, la, la. And finally, it just was like aligned where she was sitting on her front lawn with sweet little Hudson. And I was walking by, walking our dog. And we just started talking. And before I realized like what time it was, the sun was down. We had been talking for like 45 minutes, and we knew we had something really special. And so we've been connected ever since. And it's been such a big blessing and fortune. And through the winter, we've just gotten to know her and her partner, James, and sweet baby Hudson. And it's been a big honor for me as the woman I am and the mother I am to be able to support her and her family through, questions that they have that they haven't gotten answers to, and big transitions and transformations as becoming a family. So that was a really resonant chord, really, that we both connected on. And I just could not wait to share Life Vantage with her because it is so life changing. And so here we are to share on April's behalf and support April as she begins to share this with her friends and family. And I just want to say, if April thought of you to share this with and she reached out to you to ask you to take a look at this, it's because she really, really, really cares about you. She really wants you to see what this is fully and to be able to make an informed decision. We're all about informed consent here. And that's why the theme is stop outsourcing your health. Stop outsourcing. And that's really our big common thread here with our, energy of sharing with you. So know that if she brought this to you, she cares so much about you, and you are blessed and fortunate to be cared about by her. So thank you, April, for joining Activation Nation and Life Vantage.
Thank you. Yeah. My name's April. I was super stoked about Life Vantage because when I met Amanda, I had just been entering postpartum, of course, and I just needed so much healing to do emotionally and physically. And I think that Pro Tandem had really helped me just gain my energy back. It helped me gain my body back. I just healed so much faster than what I thought I was going to. And people had even commented on how quickly I had lost weight. And yeah, my hair looked better. So I'm all for it. I think that there is a lot to be said about the research that is done. It's all there. You can find it on PubMed and other resources. And there's really nothing to argue about. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, April, for sharing. Yes, there's a doctor within Life Vantage. His name is Dr. Brimhall. He's a chiropractor a holistic chiropractor, and his family had been in the supplement development business for like years. And he said, really, the science is no longer up for debate. And that's really on LifeVantage. Because that's really one of the things that I love about this company is that every product, almost every single product, I mean, honestly, I can't really think of one that doesn't have a clinical study showing, what's happening in your body, what gene is being upregulated, downregulated, that kind of thing. So I'll get into that a little bit, but I love that he always says, the science, I forget exactly how he says it. It's really not under scrutiny because anyone who takes the time to look at it understands how powerful it is. And we have more and more medical professionals joining us now. And so, anyway, but without further ado, I wanted to get into it a little bit today. We're not going to cover everything today because it's not something that we need to take in every single thing in one day. It's a learning experience that will happen over time. But I love to start with hope because in the beginning, I told you that our our system in America spends twice as much, and there's a lot of reasons for that. Our systems are flawed, but we have the worst outcomes. And some people call it sick care. And honestly, I heard somebody speaking the other day who actually called it death care. And I was like, wow, that is not beating around the bush. That is, I mean, it's pretty much prolonging your life, but does it prolong the quality of your life? That is the question. We want to share something that can absolutely impact the quality of your life. And I'm not going to share my whole story either, but as you get to know me over time, you'll know that I was in the military. I got back from a deployment and doctors had found very large thyroid nodules on my neck. And they said, we recommend you get your thyroid out. And I was like, I wasn't even into holistic health at that point in time, but something in my spirit said, don't give up a part of your body when you don't even know. I didn't even know what that my thyroid really did. And that's sad. And as well, we do not learn about our bodies in America. And that is the biggest travesty of all because if we don't understand our bodies, we can't help them naturally. We will then be primed to outsource our health. And that is by design, in my opinion. One thing before we go on, I'll just tell you, I met a Marine on my vacation recently and we were talking about filters and he's like, Marines are not taught filters. And I said, in the Army, I think they issue you a filter when you join. They indoctrinate you, they give you a filter. Well, it took me to the end of my career to get rid of my filter. 20 years. By the end of my 20 years, I had to get out because I no longer could keep my filter in place. So I might say something today that might ruffle your feathers, or you might think differently, and that's okay. Because I can no longer have a filter and do you a disservice by not sharing. I'm going to be honest. I'll give you the standard disclaimers because I want to protect the company that we work for or we partner with, I should say, partner with. So that's just a disclaimer. No filter here. I try to be as diplomatic as I can, but no promises. um, so starting with hope. I needed hope. Every person on this call needed hope. Amanda needed hope when Forrest had a medical injury at birth. April shared her reason why she needed hope. Part of it, postpartum is a big thing that we see. And there is hope. So that's where we'll start. Our flagship product goes back all the way, well, it goes even farther back than 2005, but 2005 was when it really came on the scenes because there was an ABC primetime about it because the doctor who formulated it was saying a bunch of these very what sounded to be crazy things in the medical community. And they were like, let's go research what is he saying and is it true? So John Quinones came out for ABC Primetime. He actually came to Denver because they were doing research over at the Webb Center for Antioxidants. And that's in that ABC Primetime clip. If you haven't seen it, reach out to us and we'll share the video with you. But he went on the product and he had an experience with it, and he is still on it all these years later. So now it's more than 17 years now. But to me, that's a testament to what we have our hands on, and every day we are getting more things that we can activate and more research behind it. But it really all goes back to the foundation. One of the root causes of dis-ease in our body is free radical damage, also known as oxidative stress. Just like the rusting of an app or the decay of an apple as it's, you know, in, out there in the air and is exposed to free radicals, that's what's happening with our cells. So it is a common enemy to all humans, and it will accelerate disease and aging if you experience more oxidative stress. So what do? Most people, we try to eat our way out of it. You know, we're always looking at how can we eat our antioxidants so that we can reduce this damage. Well, the truth is that we can't. And I'll share a little bit more about that later, but April had mentioned PubMed. You can go on PubMed and search oxidative stress and fill in the blank. I did chronic pain, oxidative stress and chronic pain. You will find over 300,000 results. You can search oxidative stress and neurological diseases. You can go there and you can see the link. So, what do? Most people try to supplement their way out of it. Not possible because most the antioxidants we eat are a 1-to-1 ratio. You're going to neutralize one free radical for every one antioxidant that you eat. Activation is a different approach. It is turning on your body's capabilities so that you can powerfully reduce that oxidative stress and many other things, which we'll get into. But this field of study, the scientific field of study, is nutrigenomics, that targeted nutrients can affect how our genes express. When our genes go rogue, that's when we have dis-ease. But we can bring them in, we can rein them in, we can tune them if they're overexpressing or underexpressing. We can tune them like a piano. And the man who really discovered this technology that we're sharing is a brilliant, brilliant man. And I am thankful for him because of his brilliance. All the way back in 1969, he co-discovered our master antioxidant in our body. Most people have never ever heard of it yet, and it is now 2026. I mean, that's over 55 years that our body's master antioxidant, not the ones we eat, the ones that our bodies can produce by themselves. And probably, I don't even know what percentage of the population has even heard about this, right? Some people are hearing about glutathione now because it's all the rage. Take liposomal glutathione, go get an IV of glutathione. No, you do not have to do that because our bodies can make it itself. And that's, what we're here to share. And we'll share a little bit about how that's possible. But I mean, kudos to Dr. McCord. He was the one who discovered that antioxidant. He was the one who put together our flagship product. His discovery was so significant that that antioxidant enzyme, when you measure it in your body, is measured in McCord units. So huge, huge discovery. So tools to repair our cellular damage. This flagship NRF2 activator is 5 different targeted herbs in a specific ratio. It's not just the recipe, it's not just the ingredients, it's the recipe. So that recipe for success that he put together, they found through research that it reduces oxidative stress, that free radical damage, root cause of chronic inflammation and dis-ease. We can reduce that by an average of 40% in 30 days. Why is this huge? And because the research backs it, it's so much so that we have an FDA approved statement, which is unheard of for a natural supplement because the FDA does not regulate supplements. And that is why we say a standard disclaimer that this product is not designed to treat, cure, or mitigate any disease. But if we're honest, if we look at drugs that are regulated by the FDA, do they do that either? No. They mask. They mask. They keep you masked and they do not address the root cause of disease or aging. And that's what we're here to change with activation. We have 30 peer-reviewed studies. We have testimonial after testimonial. And oh, by the way, it works in all mammals. All mammals have an NRF2 pathway, so we can activate horses, we can activate our dogs, we can activate our cats. I don't know about you, but I love my dog so much. I want her to live forever. I know that's not possible, but we can lengthen our lifespan and health span by reducing this root cause of disease. This NRF2 activator was also one of the only natural supplements in a mouse study to show that it expanded lifespan. It extended lifespan by 7% in male mice. But honestly, we have the same pathways. When you give your body a leg up, there is the possibilities are infinite. And as someone I admire said, Dr. Dispenza, he says, do not put limits on your transformation. So activate your body, see what it's capable of. And in one of the studies that they did, you can see this quote on here. In Washington State University, they said NRF2 activation may become the most extraordinary, therapeutic, and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. A lot of big words in there, but just it's so powerful. This NRF pathway, it was, discovered back in the day as well, in the 90s, and most people don't even know what NRF2 is. And we are here to change that. That's why every one of us here, all of us three ladies are here so that you can hear about this. So since we have that flagship product, we've added more activations, things we can activate. Our mitochondria, there's a pathway for that. You may have heard of NAD lately. NAD is all the rage. I think Time magazine named it the fountain of youth. People will, even Justin Bieber is out there getting NAD IVs. Skip the needles, people. Your body can make its own. And we can activate our NAD and our sirtuins, our longevity proteins. What I love the most about LifeVantage is everything is synergistic. And they can show you how. They can show you the difference that it makes when we synergize, which is also amazing. So this pyramid here, I like to show it because, like I said, most people have never heard of their body's master antioxidants. These are our primary antioxidant enzymes at the top here. Most people have never heard of them. We are so busy at the bottom of the pyramid, like trying to eat our way out of inflammation that we don't, we may have not have even heard about the ones at the top, right? So instead of supplementing, we are activating. And as another chiropractor in our company says, if we're not activating, then we're deteriorating. If you're not boosting your body's built-in systems, then you are deteriorating at a faster rate. And I was reminded that I have this lady on the screen, and I was reminded of her testimony today. I'm going to move it over. Her name is Crystal. She spoke at one of our conferences, and she said that because of this opportunity and these products, I'm able to live today and not just exist. And I just shared her testimony with a friend who was looking for solutions. And I have her in my binder. I have her in the front of my binder. I have a notebook that I take to all the conferences. I literally have her picture. If I can help one person escape their fate or what they feel like is their fate or they're where they're stuck, then that I'm satisfied. But I want to help more than one person, but if I can help one person, that's why we're here. It's one at a time, spreading this word, get the word out. But who is talking about this NRF2 activator? These are all the organizations that have done studies on our NRF2 activator. Even LSU, so LSU did one on NRF2 activation and the incidence and spread of melanoma. And that study informed our skincare line. So we now have an NRF2 activated skincare line so that we can protect our skin from the assault of our environment. But this is a very impressive list. But again, this can just be a added um, input for you. But again, do not dismiss your intuition or your choice because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing is that you make a decision that's best for you. So I want to show you quickly what's possible. I love this slide because we have, again, humans and we have dogs. These are what's possible when we activate. You know, it goes back again to the root cause of aging and disease. So, two of the biggies, oxidative stress and mitochondrial dysfunction. What happens when we can correct those two things? Anything's possible. You see this dog's hair filling back in. Hair loss and alopecia is affected by oxidative stress and mitochondrial dysfunction. Um, you see the pigmentation in the skin, vitiligo. I think I say that right. It's a hard one to say. That we can help that because when we give our body a leg up, anything's possible. And you can see that this child's pigment started to fill back in when they got activated. And for me, the collagen was a big game changer. When the collagen came in, those are my eyes. And it was like I got an eyelid lift. Someone made a comment on my eyes. They came to pick up a marketplace item and they were like, "Whoa, you have like the prettiest eyes, the coolest eyes." And I was like, "You know what? I have not done a before and after of my collagen results in a long time." And that was my result. My eyelids are consistently lifted. So, amazing things that we can do. That just scratches the surface of what's possible, and that's just a visual I like to share. Um, and if there's anything that you're dealing with, you know, reach out to us and we can show you the link between these things and how activation could help you. Activated collagen. Um, just real briefly, this collagen is a game changer. I was at a vendor event and I had someone ask me, who would be your number one competitor for the collagen? And again, no filter. And honestly, integrity is one of my core values. So if there was a collagen I felt like was better than this collagen, I'd be like, ours is pretty awesome, but I found this one that's pretty cool too. Nope. I have not found a collagen that can touch LifeVantage collagen. Why? Because we are turning up production of our own collagen and we're turning down the enzyme that degrades our collagen. So it's a 1-2 punch. Most collagens do not address degradation, and so you're literally putting your money and that collagen into a bucket with holes. I always tell people it may make you feel better to pay less for collagen, but if it doesn't work, you're essentially wasting your money. And that is the truth. A lot of collagens maybe have 1 or 2 types of collagen. This one has 10 types within the bottle. It's liquid, ready to be absorbed. You can see that bottle on there. You can see all the places in our body that these 10 types reside. Our eyes are 90% collagen. That's why we're seeing such drastic eye results. It's like people's eyes are becoming, they were recessed and they just come out. We see that in so many different testimonials. I'll go back 1 slide. This lady up top above my eyes, 45 days on the collagen. See how her eyes just come out? It's crazy, but that's the power of activation. We are not supplementing something hoping it will do something. We are turning on our body's own capabilities and we're looking for those results to come out. So I'm not going to go too much into this, but the next thing that we came out with was a GLP-1 activator. Many people are on these synthetic GLP-1 shots, not realizing that again, it's masking, tricking your body into thinking that you have this hormone. And when you trick your body into thinking it has something, what does it do? It produces less on its own. So we're finding that a lot of these synthetic products are causing muscle mass, bone health problems long term. And so when you're looking for solutions for yourself, this is one of my core values as well. Informed consent. What are the potential benefits? What are the potential risks? And what are the alternatives? We are here to share alternatives because I want to protect my muscle, because I know that muscle and, building my muscle, resistance training, all of this over time is going to help my longevity and harming my muscle mass is not what I want to do. So, and then we go back to the synergy. You can see the synergy that came with the GLP-1 activator and our NRF2 activator. It's like repairing your internal organs. So, I mean, who wouldn't want that? You know how our skin it's gets thinner over time. The same thing is happening to our organs. You can see the deterioration, um, but we can help repair them. So it's all amazing. And the last thing I will say, I didn't get a chance to add it into this presentation, but again, we're not trying to cover everything. But LifeVantage just recently acquired a gut health company. And the way I like to say is it was an arranged marriage that was a match made in heaven. And if you pay attention to wellness news around, you'll know the importance of gut health is just continuing to come up. Up and up and up is the importance of gut health. And I saw one of my college friends who's a doctor in New York City. She posted about reducing inflammation, and they didn't use activation for it, but it was gut health focused, kefir and stuff like that. So gut health is a huge part of our immune health. But we found synergy there too. So if you're interested in gut health, definitely reach out to us, and I can share that presentation I did on the gut health. But just a revisit of hope. Amanda mentioned her son Forrest, and there he is. They were the medical community, to their knowledge, at the time, they said he won't walk. He may be a vegetable. He is the farthest thing from that, and he's awesome. And you can see he walks, and he is supported with activation. So really, again, not putting limits on your transformation, not accepting someone's diagnosis of you or your prognosis. I'm sorry, do not do that. And see what's possible with activation. And so it's not only with activation, we don't always stand alone have only the products. We also have an opportunity, a business opportunity, an opportunity to get the word out, to share what our bodies are capable of with other people. This is a global company. We are in a bunch of different countries. We're in a lot of different countries, and the opportunity is really massive. And I'll turn it over to Amanda here in a minute. But one thing I learned at this last conference we went to in Vegas was that businesses, when you start a business on your own, an independent business has about like a 55% chance of success, a success rate of about 55%. Franchises like McDonald's, Wendy's, those kind of franchises, they have an 88% chance success rate. Why? Because the system and the products are already built, and they're just buying in to share that system and product. But for a franchise, it costs like hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then you're tied to a store. So that doesn't that doesn't appeal to me personally, but this does, because this is like a micro franchise. These products with all this scientific backing are ready and available for you to share. You don't have to store them in your house. You don't have to develop them. If I was to try to develop a collagen that could do what ours do, it would never come out. Because I'm no Dr. McCord, and I'm no Lisa Barnes. I'm no, LifeVantage development team. But I get the perks of sharing it, and I'm just so passionate about sharing it. Amanda, did you have something that you wanted to say?
Yeah, I wanted to just, I guess, add a little bit more. I didn't realize you'd have a picture of Forrest in there, so I'll give just a smidge more context. My son had suffered medical injury at birth that led to the most severe kind of brain damage that physicians ever have seen affect a baby. And so he was full term born and really healthy. And when they saw him with his injury at the moment of impact, they had prognosed that he wasn't going to live. They had said, we don't think he's going to make it through the night. And so hour by hour, we sat through the night, the first night watching, and he made it through. And the conversation continued for a couple more days until all of a sudden it was a week long that he was still with us on full life support as a neonatal. And And they were astonished as he kept continuing to fight for his life and stay with us on full life support. So by day 5, they went ahead and started to remove some of the support systems, and he was continuing to make gains. And so we only needed to spend about 3 weeks in the NICU for him, and then we were released. But at that time, they tried to actually discourage me from breastfeeding, thinking his brain had suffered so much damage that he wouldn't be able to coordinate his mouth to be able to form a latch. Don't bother. Well, if you don't know me, I'm a rule breaker. I go testing things and figuring it out, and more than likely it's doable. So that's what happened. And as I started breastfeeding him, it was miraculous turnaround. Fast forward to being discharged from Children's Hospital and going home, we just kept, you know, I was home full time, obviously, breastfeeding full time, just restoring his health as much as we could. But it was on that normal biological level that we are all, you know, at with our normal settings of life. And it wasn't until 5 months later that LifeVantage and Protandim were shared with me by really sweet friends. And so by the time it was shared with me, Forrest was 5 months old, and I immediately got on the product, still breastfeeding him. At that time, he really was not interactive. And there were increases in his interactiveness, but he was also heavily medicated with seizure suppressants. It was a very fine line. We were, balancing on a tightrope, basically. And fast forward then again to like 16 months postpartum. 16 months, he weaned himself and decided he was done breastfeeding. And at that time, at 16 months old, he still was not crawling. He could barely even sit up strong enough to hold himself well in a good sit. And at 16 months old, babies should definitely be crawling. And so when he weaned himself and I knew he wasn't getting Protandim in him through my breast milk, I decided to start crushing the pill up in a mortar and pestle into a fine powder, and then just sprinkling the powder on a spoon of baby food and getting it into him with a bite of baby food once a day. So just a little sprinkle once a day. And within that first week of doing that, he started crawling across the living room floor out of nowhere. He never had before. At 16 months, he took his first crawl across the floor within the first week of having NRF2 in his body. And as with animals, babies don't have a placebo effect. So when something really works with them, it really works. And so that's really the nutshell breakthrough of how LifeVantage impacted our lives. That was the beginning. It has continued to, as we've been really honored to benefit from the products for over a decade now. And so my husband, myself, and our son, even, we have evolving testimonials, but we are just a few of thousands upon thousands upon thousands. It's such a beautiful culture of many lives changed in the absolute best ways, miracles, really. So I just wanted to share a little bit more context for our viewers. So thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Yes,
I
thank
also,
you.
I guess, want to emphasize, like, this is how we share this business. This is how we work the business. And this is why it's so optimal for anyone, because anyone can do it anywhere with who they want to do it with, however they want to do it. And there's no wrong way to share this with the people that you love in your life or people that are just new to you that you
Yeah.
then start to love.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
soul.
thank you.
We've really created like a community. It's like soul family is what I call it. With Amanda, and every day I'm meeting more people who are like-minded, and I'm so excited to get to know April more. But this is part of it. We're building a community of wellness advocates. Again, look in the mirror today and know that you are your biggest wellness advocate. And we want to empower others to live their most vibrant lives. And that is possible when we activate our bodies. I feel better than I ever have in my life. And I take better care of myself than I ever have in my life. And I feel so good activated that I will never stop because I know that I'm living and aging with the fullest capabilities of my body that I know of right now until the next activator comes out and I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know about this." Just like whoever knew that they had a GLP-1 hormone before these drugs came out? Most people don't even still know that it's actual hormone. So that's why we are here to share. And I ask, how many lives could you transform by sharing what we've learned today or what you've learned today? It's really limitless. And again, it's thinking outside of the box. I used to be a hospital chaplain and I thought I would be working at this hospital for the rest of my life. I thought I would retire from there. I thought this would be my life. And and in the military too, I know when you get promoted, it's a little bit more of a raise, but let's face it, our system is designed to get us in debt, spend the rest of our lives working to get out of debt, slaving away for a company that may give you a 50-cent raise in every year, and that's not going to make a dent into your debt. So this is an alternative, and it's something that you can work alongside of your life. For me personally, I'm all about multiple streams of income because I don't want one stream of income to take me down. Um, the more you get to know me, you will learn that I was actually terminated at the hospital I worked for not getting a flu shot. So after a decade of my life that I spent working here, I basically was dismissed for not getting a flu shot. So that was when I really realized, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to outsource my own well being to a company who sees me as a number. I'm going to work for myself where the potential is vast. Let's just put it that way. And I'm not working for any 50-cent raise, let me tell you. I'm going to take as much control of my life as I can. And this is one of those methods. So we share the whole story. We share where we came from, the science, the products, and we share the opportunity because you deserve to know what your choices are. And then you can decide what's best for you. And we will always honor your choice because that's just the way we are here. So I want to leave you with another bit of a question. Imagine waking up every day knowing that you are actively supporting your body's ability to live and age better. How would that change your life for you? For me, it gives me the confidence that I can take charge of my own wellness. I can be my own wellness advocate. I can stop outsourcing. I have more choices. And I know that I am going to give my body the best chance of having a long, happy, and healthy life. And so that's my close. I'll turn it back over to Amanda. But before I do that, I'm going to say if you feel called to, you can book a one-on-one call with us or like a three-way chat, anything like that. So we can help you determine what your needs are, how to best meet those needs. And okay, Amanda, I'm going to turn it back over to you and I'm going to mute myself.
Awesome. Thank you. I just realized I forgot to add the current situation for my son where he's thriving now. He's 14 and thriving and having, a normal, whatever that means, a normal life, just like any other teenager. And yes, he is clearly disabled with mobility limitations, but he's far beyond what the prognoses ever were put upon him. And he's doing all the things that they said he would never do. And I just wanted to emphasize that because, your question of how could it look in your life to make use of this knowledge and our own capabilities and choosing a life where we're just simply acting in accordance with our capabilities and seeing what we can do, what we can achieve, and going beyond any limits that are put on us or anything like that. Sometimes we put them on ourselves. And so, yeah, I know Mary's over here we've accomplished that, and it's the best level of life. I've never felt as amazing as I feel, and I just had my 40th birthday this last weekend, and I feel better than I've ever felt in my whole life. I didn't even feel this good back in my 20s when I was young, and I was an athlete, and so about my health. I was in the gym, I was doing things, but I never had the kind of energy and vitality that I do now. And my skin, hair, and nails have never been healthier and stronger, and they are a reflection of what's going on inside of us. And so please reach out to any of us who you know, reach out to your people who invited you to see this, even if we're not your people. Just go reach out to who invited you to see this and connect with them to start getting more information. And we welcome you to Activation Nation. April, did you want to share anything?
I was just thinking about how if there were, I didn't say it was just how synchronic it was, which I just think is so crazy. I couldn't have met Amanda at a better time because, yeah, I just really needed help with my health when I met her. And especially with where I was and then just having him. And then also it being like the Taurus new moon for me to have started
right now
my relationship with LifeVantage and to further go down that road. I just think it's super exciting.
Yeah, the universe has your back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that's awesome. I love that too. I feel like we say, you know, Amanda has a story about stepping away and coming back. You know, they could have met years ago, but they met now. And one of my mentors used to say, the best time to activate was 10 years ago. The next best time is now. The next best time is always now. And it is things happen in their own time. So we're glad that this found you when it found you. Check in with yourself and reach out to us if you're interested to learn more. So, thank you for watching,
Awesome.
everybody.
Awesome. Thank you so very much as well.
Thanks.
All right.